All right, welcome to Rock Vegas, everybody. This is Glen Rockney. This is going to be a fun, special, different episode today. I should say I have. I would say, would you say you're top three or maybe even number one Jets fan of all time, Dave?
I'm not on the level of Fireman Ed yet,
Okay.
but once I pass him, then maybe I'll be number one once he gets a heart attack.
Yeah. There you go. I was going to say, I feel like you have the inside path on
Right.
Fireman Ed. I would say. Um,
Exactly.
so on Twitter, Dave is x Malwa on Twitter. And Dave, a little backstory for the listeners. You kind of you've been wanting to come on just to let me know, how much the Raiders suck. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
I enjoy. I think part of being a Jets fan is you enjoy others suffering more than you
Mhm.
enjoy supporting your own team.
I think that's fair, and I think, like, I don't. I don't know what you consider the Jets, but I'll tell you what I consider the Jets. It's the same thing as I consider the Raiders. We're a poverty franchise, right? We haven't won. We just don't win. These two teams don't win a lot. And
That's true.
it's kind of a crabs in a bucket situation where we don't go after the big fish, right? Like we do in our division. We have the Chiefs. You guys had the Patriots for years.
Hmm.
Could this be the Bills maybe taking over there? I'm not sure, but you kind of go after the other teams. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you watched the Browns last year. I was like, man, really? You guys are gonna start doing
Yeah,
this? Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
No, NFL is probably my favorite sport. So yeah, all the teams that you sort of see drafting around you and making good picks, you're just like,
Hmm.
come on, man.
I
I
know
wish
that,
that I wish that was us.
that top 10 has just been like Raiders, Jets, like who else? It was Bills for a while, Browns,
Browns,
um,
Cardinals for a little while,
little Panthers here and there. Yeah.
Panthers. There's a lot of poverty franchises when you think about it,
Yeah,
but
no, I hear you.
there should be more like parity in the NFL. But you know, the Patriots and Steelers seem to have ruined that the past few years.
Well, good news. Steelers stink. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's good news about that. Patriots, I can't put the nail in the coffin yet on the Patriots. I just can't. I feel like Bill's got
No.
one more little thing for us, and I'm a little scared, honestly. And yeah, what do you think? I'm sorry, as a Jets fan, as far as the Patriots, you think they're done?
No. Last year was interesting, and then this year is the first time they've ever paid that much for free agents. So we'll see. I'm a big Cam believer, so I don't know if he still got it. Like his shoulder seemed pretty much done last year, but
It's
I don't know. I hate that they signed Cam because he's like one of my all-time
yeah,
faves ever.
electric.
Yeah, and he went to like the most evil team ever. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But they signed a lot of good players, and that defense is just stacked this year. So
Mm-hmm.
you
Because they had
know,
the opt outs last year, right? Like, I mean, I feel like their defense would have been stacked last year, honestly, but they probably had about 6 or 7 starters, I feel like, opt out and retire.
yeah, they had like a bunch of big guys opt out, but they pretty much reloaded. Their O line is really good too again this year, and but like they just can't draft. Like it's so weird. Like
Mm-hmm.
uh, I
So,
just they're all we talk about the Raiders, but at least the Raiders had a few good first round picks that can
mhm.
sort of start, but the Patriots can never pick anybody in the first 2 rounds or first 3 rounds that starts ever. That's really good.
Yeah. What do you, so, okay. I guess I just heard your Mac Jones opinion unofficially there, is what you're telling me.
uh, like if you look, there's a lot of metrics this year that says that he should be good, but at the same time, SEC is whack now. They don't play any defense in the
Right,
SEC
right, right,
anymore.
right.
It's not like back in the day where it was just like shut down defenses
Yeah.
anywhere. They throw like crazy. He was throwing to, last year he was throwing to, Ruggs and Judy. This year he's throwing to Waddle and Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
Come on, like it's uh, it I really I have no faith in Mac Jones.
Okay. I see. The thing is, to me, is like, I'm just okay. Like, you look at Mac Jones, right? you look at the shirtless profile. We've all seen the picture. You see all that. Like, does that not scream like? Is there's less than I think it's more than a 10% chance that he's the next Tom Brady, unfortunately.
Yeah, but Tom Brady wasn't throwing to anybody at Michigan, I don't think, right? I haven't really looked
They
back
were
at
pretty
like
good. They were pretty good. He couldn't even win the starting job.
yeah, but who is he throwing to there? Like he
Oh, I
wasn't
don't.
throwing to
Yeah,
first round picks, right?
Charles Woodson. Yeah, on offense.
Right?
Yeah, yeah,
Right? Like two first rounders in
yeah.
2 seasons. So Ruggs, Judy last year, and then Waddle
Mm,
and Devonta this year, who I think
yeah.
I don't really rate Devonta, but it's just I don't know. I'm an I always made fun of a joke like because I liked Old Miss because they respect racism down there.
They do.
Being Punjabi, it was like an ironic thing.
Uh-huh.
But then a sort of wrestling term, I worked myself into a shoot. Now I actually really like them. Like they're like my favorite team. So I watch a lot of SEC football, and it is just I have no idea what happened in the past 5 years. Like it is just pass, pass, pass. Like it's insane.
Well, it's like a to me it seems like a supercharged Big 12 now. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, like LSU and Alabama is like the Red River rivalry now, like Oklahoma and Texas.
exactly.
It's yeah, I totally agree. Even though like top dog defenders come out of there, they almost feel like in college they can't defend the guy they're
Right.
playing. Like they're just like, well, I'll be okay when I get to the NFL, but I'm not playing defense now. Surely I'm not.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so, but enough about the Patriots, Glenn. What are you
Yeah.
doing? Right? We're talking, but we both hate them. So the Jets, right? So you're probably riding pretty high right now. I feel like as a Jets fan because I've been in your position as a Raider fan. Right now I'm on a linear. I'm going linear right now as a Raider fan, not necessarily down, linear. But you're riding high because you got Robert Saleh, you got a new
Yeah.
quarterback, you have you have the total reset button as a franchise. So how are you feeling as a Jets fan?
Pretty good, but I'm not a huge Zach Wilson guy, and I really don't understand why he was touted as number two.
No
Like,
way.
it just, I
My
don't,
whole thing, dude, my whole game plan, like the lawyer when he's talking to the defendant in the thing, when they're like, this is what our strategy. My whole thing was I thought you were going to be a Zach Wilson guy.
no,
Oh man, I lost
but
everything.
the only good thing you can say about Zach Wilson is that he could be the new Sanchez, right? Because,
Okay.
right, Sanchez first year was awful.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was really bad, but
Yes, he was.
we still made the AFC Championship
Yeah,
game
and
on
you
him.
ate hot dogs at our stadium. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, a great, writing a great defense.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really have many veterans like that Jets team had.
Mm-hmm.
We got like CJ Mosley. That's about it. But the rest of the team is just pretty raw. But I think that's the best case scenario, like 2,500 yards. I don't know. I think they're really going to protect him and
Mm-hmm.
try and keep him, you know, upright or whatever. But I just don't understand why he was rated ahead of Justin Fields or even Trey Lance, I guess. Like,
Interesting.
yeah, I just, uh, but the thing is, our Jets QBs, like every time, like I wanted Sam Darnold over Josh Allen. Okay, that was wrong, totally wrong.
Okay.
So maybe I'm right this time. Like maybe Zach Wilson is good. Maybe he'll be better than Justin Fields, but I doubt it. But like we've drafted Christian Hackenberg, we
Yeah.
drafted Geno Smith.
Uh-huh.
Oh, just the worst QBs, like even Sanchez, like he had a few good years, but like he
Yeah.
wasn't anything special. The only good QB we've drafted is Pennington, right? And he was
I
really good.
love Chad Pennington.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Loved him.
Like I still have so much love in my heart for Sanchez, but I recognize that he was limited, right? And
Yeah. He
Rex.
was to me, he reminded me of like the Niners with Harbaugh, Alex Smith, where it was like
Yeah.
you knew he wasn't gonna like, I'm gonna win this game with me. Nobody else is gonna, I'm gonna win this game. He didn't have that, but you're like, yeah, he's not, he's not gonna ruin me. When Sanchez had those couple years, it made sense.
Yeah. Then he got really bad. It just sort of went over a cliff.
No, not great. So
But the rest of the team is really exciting. Like we got, our O line, we got some that young blood in the O line, the D line looking good. We got some exciting linebackers, but we'll see with this new crew. Salah's a pretty cool guy. He's showing up with Islanders jersey. That really is pretty cool. Like, really selling himself to the New Jersey crowd there. So, like he seems pretty cool. But I don't know. Can what do you like? Can coaches be handsome and be good?
I mean, Cliff Kingsbury's not doing any favors there. Like it's tough. McVay's a decent looking guy, and that's been a
Yeah, I
solid
guess.
franchise.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan's not terrible looking, but Kyle Shanahan's also, I mean, we're not talking about a lot of winning seasons in San Francisco here
No,
for Kyle
no.
Shanahan. I think
And he's football royalty too, right? So
football royalty. Yeah, I love a
yeah.
nice ugly football coach. I agree with you. Like just a salt of the earth football coach.
Yeah,
Like,
that he doesn't care anything. Like he doesn't. He's not.
yeah.
I just feel like
Yeah, deodorant.
Salah.
What's that? Yeah, I
Yeah,
want that guy. Yeah,
Salah's a handsome guy. He's sort of put together. He's always
dude.
dressed well.
I saw
Like
him. I saw him at Trader Joe's out here because he was.
oh really?
I live very close to the Niner Stadium out here,
Okay, that's cool.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So I disagree, but no, he. So I saw him at a Trader Joe's. I swear to God, that guy could have lifted up because Trader Joe's has these solid tables that are like long where you check out on.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just like one long thing. He could have just lifted that up and just put it outside. The guy's just an absolute specimen. Like I was like, is this a nine? He was wearing like a Niner shirt, kind of. Not gonna lie, docked him a few points. I felt like he wanted to be noticed. I was like, all right, man. Like, okay, the Niner defensive coordinator got you there. Yeah. But he was like, yeah, he looked like a strength and conditioning guy though. Like he was just like, he looked like we recruited this guy from the Navy SEALs. Like he was actually SEAL Team 6, and now he's our defensive coordinator. That's what he looked like. And so I love that hire. I thought that was him, and I thought Brian Daboll would have been the number one hires, but Daboll stayed with Buffalo. But like those to me would have been the two guys I would have gone after more than anybody, even more than Brandon Staley. Like, so I think you guys made a good decision there.
Yeah, and it's always good to, I think defensive coaches have it a little bit easier. Like if they can just sort of hand off the offense to whoever. So it's a LaFleur guy running the offense for us. So we don't have any good running backs though. So it's kind of like we are kind of like San Francisco in that way. We've got like so many running backs that are sort of, halfway decent, but who knows which one's going to go off in a certain week kind of thing. So yeah, that's the one similarity and a crappy quarterback, I guess, like Garoppolo, but we'll see if Lance starts for 49ers. But yeah, it's the similarities are there. Strong defense. I think this year the defense, especially if CJ Mosley and Quinn Williams steps up again, and Ashton Davis or whatever hurts is his. I think he was hurt last year, so if he steps up, like it's pretty serious defense. So we'll
Carl
see.
Lawson too, not a terrible signing at all. Yeah.
But all those guys, I guess, like aside from Quinnen, they all get hurt a lot too. So that's a worry.
So so go ahead and grill me about the Raiders offseason. I want to go ahead and play a little. I'll play a little defense here. So go ahead, grill me. What do you hate?
Okay, so there's one thing. There's a fantasy guy that is pretty smart, Lord Reeves on Twitter.
I know.
Yeah. Since 2005 to 2017. Who signs a second contract? Just 6 Raiders have signed a second contract in that time.
That's correct.
That's crazy.
High. The number feels high, actually, but yeah.
And that's the lowest in the NFL.
I agree. I'm with you.
And you've wasted so many picks on your secondary, and it's probably one of the worst secondaries in the league.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this year? Like, obviously the whole thing with Underwood, and then the guy that the Vikings took, that was a pretty big thing, but he's still a big dude. The Alabama OT that you guys took, right?
Leatherwood. Yeah.
Leatherwood.
Yeah. No. So okay. So a couple things here. Let me start with the secondary. Let me rewind here what you were saying there. Now I agree. The secondary was really bad. Now this year, I think Trayvon Mullen's a good corner. I think he's a very solid corner. I think last year they were playing in off man coverage and they drafted press man corners. It's just not a great. The Raiders have consistently drafted to not fit their coaching staff. That's always what they've done, which is why you see guys get a second life when they go to another team. You see Jihad Ward is playing snaps for the Colts, and he was a Raiders second round pick. And he's not Mario Edwards Jr. just got a contract with the Chicago Bears, right? Like a lot of these guys are getting second life. And the Carl Joseph had a decent year with the Browns, like when he left, and it was like these guys, you could tell they're not terrible. Now they might have been overdrafted. I wouldn't disagree. I mean, my draft night reactions to them aren't very good either. And but I think they're secondary. I think they're going to go to a cover 3 scheme. They're going to go to the Seattle cover 3 with Gus Bradley. I think that helps them a little bit.
Yeah,
better.
That's the main thing. Like Gus Bradley seems to fit that a bit.
I
more
like
than,
that. I like that. Now, to be fair, I like the Paul Guenther signing too. So this could just be like a Gus Bradley. This could be the worst personnel Gus Bradley's ever had. But I will say I like the Trayvon Merrick pick in the second round. He was mocked in the first round to almost every mock draft I saw with Trayvon Merrick going there. So I thought they got a nice steal while they may have reached on Leatherwood. So let's get to Leatherwood now.
Yeah.
Leatherwood.
And then Darisaw went to the Vikes, and that's what everybody wants to flip.
It hurts. No, it hurts bad still. I won't justify that. Now, what I will say is John Gruden is a running offensive coordinator. He wants to run the ball. They had the 10th overall offense in the league last year. This sneaks by a lot of people. The 10th overall offense in the league. And they couldn't run the ball last year. Josh Jacobs averaged, I think, 3.8 per carry.
Yeah.
Very bad. Which I think you're a running backs don't matter guy. I'm kind of a running backs don't matter guy, right? Are we clear on that?
Yes,
one?
exactly.
So I didn't love the Josh Jacobs pick just by drafting. I love Josh Jacobs. I didn't like picking him in the first round. Now, because so much has to go right with the offensive line. Now, they did some shit to the offensive line this offseason, and I can't tell you what I think is going to happen. But they're also getting Richie Incognito back, and they're getting probably the best run blocking tackle in the draft in Alex Leatherwood. Now, I don't know what the hell that guy's going to do in pass protection, and I'm scared, mortified, actually.
Right.
There. But we're going to get –
big dude.
He's a big
road
dude,
grader.
and he can move. Like, he's a big guy that can move. So if you have Incognito, him, Denzel Good's good in the run game, and you have Josh Jacobs, and they overpaid for Kenyon Drake, but it's still Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake, the Alabama backfield. I think they might be able to do some crazy shit in the run game. That's now, am I inhaling copium right now? Absolutely. But that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. It's funny how fast it can go from like, everybody's like the Raiders had one of the top 5 O-lines to one of like the worst. And then we'll see this year what happens now. But how do you feel about, all the scuttlebutt about like Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson? Like, it doesn't feel like Carr is the guy. Like, obviously Gruden's always going to say Carr is my guy or whatever, but there's always so much talk about the QBs. What do you think? Like, is he still on a long leash this year?
I think
Mariota?
It's too long. I think it's too long, unfortunately. Like, and I to be fair, I've become a Derek Carr appreciator because I think he actually plays decent football. Like, what gets lost in a lot of stuff is because you don't see quarterbacks stay there for 8 years when you don't win anything, right? Like, that just doesn't happen anymore. Like Kirk Cousins they drafted Kellen Mond. Like, he might not even play half the season this year, right? Like, and I think Carr and Kirk Cousins are almost the same quarterback. Now, I do think that Gruden loves him because they've had an opportunity to dump him off. They had 3 first-round picks, right, 1 year, and you don't take a quarterback. That means you like your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Like, you could have done something there when those 3 first-round picks, and then they had 2 the next year. You had 5 first-round picks in 2 years. Now, I don't like the way they used them necessarily, but you could have picked a quarterback if you didn't like your quarterback. There are teams that have really traded the farm for guys when they had a lot less picks. So I do think that Gruden likes him. Now, I think that a lot of media stuff and a lot of fans, and I get frustrated with them too, because the bad is like comically like Mr. Magoo bad. Where it's like really a fumble. Bad. Yeah, like a fumble, and it's just like him like having glasses on and a walking cane, and he's just like, where's the ball? Like, it's really bad. Now, the good is pretty good. When that offense is humming, I think he does a nice job. Like, I think now the way I view Derek Carr is that he's not I don't know if he's ever going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I probably not, right? But he's a playoff quarterback. A good franchise that drafts solid can get to the playoffs with Derek Carr. This team cannot. That's why I know they're failing elsewhere and not at quarterback. That's my take.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. this era
Sorry,
that
sorry. I will
this
gladly take Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson, provided maybe some more information on Watson. Like, no, for real. And that's where I
yeah
thought you guys should have gone, honestly, was trade the farm for Watson before all that shit happened. Was like, you
yeah
guys should have just traded the farm for Watson. You
well,
had all those
that's what I
all those
thought.
extra picks with Jamal Adams and all that stuff. Just
Mhm.
trade those picks and get Deshaun Watson and go to work. Like, that was like, I'm the same way. Those two guys, you're talking about generational guys. Like,
Yeah,
absolutely. You drop everything and get those guys. Like, I'm not saying like I'm married to like the idea of Derek Carr being my quarterback.
yeah.
I know that that's far from the weak link, and they should be a solid team looking to make that Trey Lance move at quarterback. That's what they should be right now if they drafted well.
Yeah, it just seems like, I don't know. Did you like when Mariota came in that for a couple of, was it one game last year? Was it like
About
one and a half?
about like 85% of a game. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think is what it was. Yeah, no. Hey, as a backup quarterback, what more could you ask for? But I still think a team that has a week to game plan for Mariota, it's not the same. Like, I'm not a huge Mariota
yeah.
as my starter guy. I'm a huge my quarterback went down, Mariota's coming in the game guy. I love that because he can run around, he can make plays. Like, that's what you want out of your backup quarterback. You want that exciting guy off the bench who knows the offense. And I'm glad he's still the backup on the team. I don't. If some Raider fans are like, no, let's dump Carr for like a first or second rounder, because let's be fair. Like, Carson Wentz almost got a first rounder, and he might have been the worst starting quarterback in football last year.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
like
Like
quarterbacks go high.
Carr on the Washington Potatoes or whatever,
Yes.
he would be really good, I
Well, he
think.
sucks in cold weather, but we don't want to tell them that.
Yeah,
But yeah.
because I don't understand all this love for Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's never been on a winning
No,
team ever, right? Like he's
it's
finished.
Joker mode. It's Joker makeup. It's putting on your Joker makeup
Yeah,
and playing football is what Ryan
exactly,
Fitzpatrick
right.
is.
But I think Carr would be somebody good there. But I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
Chicago, if they don't get Fields, like, that would have been a good place for him.
yeah,
In Indy, I honestly, I'm telling you, Indy could have
yeah.
upgraded over Wentz. Like, I think Indy is taking a step back this year from what I'm seeing, like, by
I
getting
think
Wentz.
Wentz is one of those guys, I guess, like Carr, that if he's got a clean pocket, he's going to be good
Yeah.
for a while though. So that's a pretty stout line. But we'll see this year. Like it could go really. I'm really excited. I like Brian Edwards on the Raiders a lot,
Love him.
way more than Ruggs. But
I agree. You
and I
you were
think
killing me for not having Wirfs, right?
yeah,
Well,
that's
why
that's
would you
the
have
main
taken
thing.
Wirfs if you, in theory, right? The Trent Brown situation didn't work, right? That didn't work. But in theory, at that time during the
But
draft, you thought Trent Brown was going to work. Like, I mean, we all thought that. Like, I mean, he was playing well the year before. Like, it wasn't like he was bad.
but why
So,
would you take a? I don't know.
well, you
It
take
just
Lamb is what you do. I mean,
Lamb.
or Judy, or you try to trade, but no, it's not Ruggs. I'm with you. It's not Ruggs.
It's just weird that they have to go for that fast receiver in the first round every time, and it never works for them. Like
Well,
it,
Al Davis used to draft the big guy, though. That's the thing. It's not even the big guy. Like Al Davis, you had to be big and fast. Darius
yeah,
Hayward Bay was a big guy. People forget
yeah,
about that.
yeah,
Like, people forget he was like 6'2", 6'3". He's a big dude. Couldn't catch
yeah,
anything. You could hear his catches on the radio. Like
yeah.
on the radio, thunk, like they'd be like, and Hayward Bay makes the catch. Like, on the radio, you're hearing it at work, and like the pots and pans are clanging. Like, it's crazy. But like, yeah, no, Ruggs, it was one of those ones where I'm like, because Gruden is such a, like, to me, the real pick is like, what if they take Jefferson, who is awesome after the catch? Like,
Right?
because
Yeah,
that's the Gruden offense, is get it to him quick and they run, right? Like,
exactly.
Ruggs has that straight line speed. He does not have the wiggle that I like, but Wirfs, I mean, I will say Wirfs would, I mean, of course, the Raiders don't even have to do the overhaul on the offensive line if they pick Wirfs. It's just that takes like insane, like ayahuasca level, DMT level premonition to see that the Trent Brown situation doesn't work out right during that draft. So that was
Yeah, but I don't know. It was just so solid. Those four guys, Becton that the Jets got, the guy that the Browns picked, Wirfs, and who was the other fourth guy? Can't remember now, but there was four of them. Even
yeah,
they, all four of them were better than,
sure.
like, people were saying, like, the guy that the Lions took is a generational talent,
Panay Sewell. Is that what you're talking
Penei
about this year?
Sewell,
Yeah.
and he seems pretty cool. But I think those four guys are still going to be better than him.
No, it was a good tackle class. I wish they had done it, because I'm always down to have depth there. Now, you're right. I look, the Ruggs pick's not doesn't. I don't love that. I love the and now I love the Brian Edwards pick, like you're saying. And let's parlay this into the draft here to keep this moving here. The draft now, the Jets draft. I was going to kill you on Zach Wilson, but you basically did the harakiri before I even got there. So
Yeah.
that's fine. So we'll move on from that. Zach Wilson, possible Trubisky vibes is all I'm going to say. Possible.
Possible. Yeah.
When you when you play like Josh Allen, but you're not as big as Josh Allen, it's not great.
Exactly. That's the one thing. Like, why was he rated second when he's tiny? He's like 6'2" and underweight. Like, I think he's under like 200 pounds or something. Like, for a QB, like either he should be little and fast like Kyler, or big and strong like Josh Allen. That you don't pick these guys in the middle. That's such a weird scouting thing from the NFL that everybody was agreed that he was number 2. I just can't believe it.
Now, Vera Tucker. Now I want to move to Vera Tucker here. Vera Tucker, I think is interesting. I think he was great. I think he's a very good player. So 2 questions here. Do you think he starts at guard or right tackle? And then the second one is, what do you feel about trading up for him? I know you might. I think you're an analytics guy, so I think you know where I'm going here as far as trading up for guards. In the
like you saw, like the back end of that round was fairly decent for guards.
Yeah.
And like even the guy that I forget his name, but the Bengals got in the second round.
Oh, Jackson Carman. Yeah,
good player. He's really good. So it didn't really need to do it. He seems like a pretty rugged dude. I don't know. How many good tackles come out of the Pac-12 and Pac-10? Sorry.
Well, Pac-12, I mean, the Lions are hoping at least one, right, with the Nate School, and you're hoping that. I think I actually really like him. I was actually that was another one where I was hoping the Raiders would take him, and I just got real shocked. I had to take my glasses off. I was like, what the hell? The Jets traded up to take him? Because I thought when you guys traded up, I thought it was for Darisaw. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You have Becton and Darisaw. You get 2 massive dudes on the outside. Like, that makes a lot of sense. That's what I thought was going to happen. Pick 17. I thought that's what the Raiders were going to do as well. It didn't happen. And I don't know what it is about Darisaw that either of those 2 teams didn't like, but that's why our team's picking the top 10 a lot. So who knows?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I've heard work ethic issues about Darisaw, but like, I don't know, man. Like, that doesn't.
He just seems really good, but we'll see. The Vikings definitely needed somebody on that line.
That is a great for them to trade back like that and get that. That's, that's the pick where I'm excited. Like I, like as a fan, that's like, I'm sure you hope your team to do that too. So let's go. Elijah Moore, right? Is a Jet, right?
That to me is the best pick.
You're an Ole Miss fan, so
I'm an Ole Miss fan, and he's just so electric for a guy that size. Like, I think he's probably the steal. These guys taken the first round. Obviously, Jamar Chase. I love Jamar Chase. He's going to be a bad boy with the Bengals. But I think Elijah Moore's this year could really make some noise, because I think they'll probably cut Crowder, because
I was going to ask you what happens to Crowder, because that's slot that doesn't make a lot of sense.
They're probably going to cut Crowder when they do that cut down, like I think in July sometime. Like, he won't get his like bonuses or something. I don't know. There's so many weird times in the NFL where you can cut and when you can't, but I think it's in July sometime. So I think they're probably going to cut Crowder, and then this guy, he just really he's fast. He gets open. He's got good hands. Just the total package, like just so much fun to watch. And, like Ole Miss has just been like a wide receiver factory.
It sure has. It sure has.
The days of Laquan Treadwell are long past.
4-7 wide receivers aren't. Yeah, that's not who I like to. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I think, then they took Michael Carter, the UNC guy.
I like him a lot.
Yeah. He could be good. He could be bad. Who knows? With him, like the comps are more like the Williams that was from Green Bay that went to
Jamal Williams. Yeah.
Jamal Williams. That's the comps. So that's not too bad, right?
No, that's in the 4th round. No, you take that every time. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty happy with aside from the Zach Wilson thing, I'm pretty happy. But we'll see if Mekhi Becton can take that next step and be
Yeah.
that real, like
I
just the
will.
way.
I will say he made our guy Cleveland Farrell look okay last year. I will say, I like that was the best
Yeah,
pass rush snaps I've seen the guy take. I was like,
yeah,
"Is this? Are you talking? This is the Mekhi Becton at left tackle?" Well,
exactly.
you know, exactly. And so I'm gonna move to the Raiders second round. Like I love Trevon Merrick. Like after Leatherwood, I was pissed, man. I put out reaction videos. I know you've seen them
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
I was
they
mad.
were
I
good.
was mad. Hey, you got to do it in the moment. That's the way I
Hmm.
like. People get mad. They're like, "Oh, you hate the guy." I'm like, "Well, I don't hate
No,
him. He didn't pick
I hate
himself
the
there.
pick.
Yeah, he didn't pick himself there. I don't even
Right.
like the Raiders used to draft guys like Cleveland Farrell was one of them too, where like they don't know they're getting drafted there. Like they're like putting on a sweatshirt. Like I was literally naked eating wings in my living room. Like
Exactly right.
I didn't know I was about to get drafted right now. Like that's what like the MO has been lately. Like Damon Arnett, like same thing. Like these guys aren't ready to be drafted at this case. Now, when they take Trevon Merrick, they trade up to get ahead of Dallas, which I think was a smart move because I think Dallas was for sure taking a safety
Yeah,
there. And
yeah, 100%.
in the second
They were
round,
they
Richie
were
Grant went
screwed
to went to
when
Atlanta.
the Broncos didn't take Fields, which was stupid, and they took
Mm-hmm.
Surtain. Everybody had Surtain to the Cowboys. It was pretty much locked in stone. And
Yeah,
Broncos not taking Fields, I have that is one of the
he's going to be
most.
that guy. Everybody, there's always that guy every year. Everyone passed, or not everyone, but people in the bad teams passed on him,
Right.
and he's going to ball. Like he's
Yeah.
good. He's like six. He's like to me, he's like a young Cam. He's like 6'6", and maybe a little more accurate as
Yeah,
a passer.
he was pretty accute. He
Not
doesn't
the
have
runner, not the runner Cam was. No one will
no.
be in a while, but like
He's
he's
fast though. Like
yeah,
his 40 was super fast, but
no, he's
he's
awesome.
but he's coming from that. I think being from Ohio State hurt him too, because like everybody's like Ohio State doesn't make it good QBs, and I wonder if that's like a mental block because like it's just set in stone. Just like Alabama doesn't have good QBs.
Yeah.
Like, is that like
Penn
a
State
thing?
running backs until Saquon, like
Right?
it's yeah.
Like I wonder if that sits in the front office's mind. Like, don't draft, and whatever you do, don't draft an Ohio State quarterback.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. Now one thing I've heard, this is just something from like random like podcasts I've been listening to, but people who are real into like all 22 is they say Ohio State runs like a one read offense. So maybe
Right.
teams do have those like quote unquote processing issues, whether that's coded in some kind of, racism thing remains to be seen. But
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, hey, I like again, maybe Craig Krenzel had that problem too back in the day. But the I think Fields is that guy. When Denver didn't take Fields, I was like, they might have got like an all pro corner. I don't care. Like it doesn't bother me. I mean, like they might have. You have Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater battling for your starting quarterback spot.
Exactly. And Drew Lock is just brutal.
Ass,
Like,
complete ass. Like Bridgewater's gonna beat him. Like that's how bad he is.
and like it's just I feel like Zach Wilson could be that bad, and it just stresses me out to no end. Just that I just obviously you want your players to do good. You have that love hate relationship probably with Derek Carr, right? That like
Yeah.
like you wish you had a better quarterback, but sometimes he does good, and you're like
Mm-hmm.
happy, but I don't know. Same with me. Like I'm just so like I want him to be good, but I have like zero faith in it.
Yeah. Good segue here. I so as a Raider fan, we have that list of quarterback. You remember the old Cleveland quarterback jersey?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like you could do it for the Raiders and
Yeah.
possibly the Jets. Like I feel like those are two teams you could do it for. The quarterback carousel, if you
Right.
will.
Yeah.
Now, what was your lowest point in your lifetime? Lowest point at quarterback and head coach? I want to know. Doesn't have to be at the same time. It's not a combination. Just if it is a combination, that's fine too. But yeah.
Probably the lowest point was the butt fumble because it came off such highs.
Thanksgiving night, right? Was that a Thanksgiving game? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, and because it came off such big highs, right? Like going to the AFC Championship twice in a row, and you thought, "Oh man, this is the team." Like we had some, real killers on that team, and then, but then, like I sort of started paying attention to the Jets. The reason I'm from Vancouver, Canada, right. So I have no like real connection to the Jets. I just picked them because my brother bought me a hat when I was 18.
There you go.
and it was the Jets. And I thought that's when I started getting into the NFL. I'm like, oh, I got the hat, might as well pick the Jets. So that was sort of around the time just before Parcells started. So I had that Parcells, and then you know you played the game Herm, and
Play
we
to win the
had
game. Love that
yeah
one.
Herm and who's after Herm now? Mangenius,
I think
Sopranos.
that's in my head right there. I'm thinking that's your worst one, but go ahead.
No, but Gase is the worst. Like
Is he that
Gase,
bad?
yeah, the 2 years under Gase were just insanely bad. I've never seen, like, I just don't understand. There was zero growth. There was zero positivity. I've never seen a worse coach team. Like it was insane. Like I'm really like mystified or shocked why that he was for one hired after failing out of Miami, like we front row seats, Miami's in our division, to hiring this guy. He offered nothing, and it was really insane. Like I felt like leaving the Jets, like when they traded Adams, I was just like, oh, I should become a Seahawks fan because it's local. But
Were you that mad?
I was mad, yeah.
Okay.
But
Box safety though.
yeah, exactly right. I guess it was just that whole season. It was just so depressing, and then you trade
Yeah.
one of your best
Right. I know
pieces
what you
away.
mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's probably the low point was definitely Bud Fumble because really thought you had something special there for those 2 years, and you thought maybe you could make it to the Super Bowl, and like it just fell apart so fast. Like, oh crap.
I hear you. No, I know. And it went from the can't wait and then your butt fumbling. Like those are,
Exactly.
yeah. Okay. Do I have you on record? Who's your worst quarterback in your lifetime for the Jets that you ever saw? I mean, you prefer to have a guy who's had multiple starts, maybe not just a spot starter here, but like who?
Okay, I guess it's a top. Then uh, Tim Tebow was the worst, but he barely got to
You got
start,
to say
right?
Gino, man. I need you to say
Yeah,
Gino. Yeah.
Gino was a bad pick. If my first Twitter account was still alive, and the fascists at Twitter hadn't got
Right.
rid of it,
And Jack
you could have
Dorsey
seen
got a Jack Dorsey dartboard in my living room.
you could have seen the meltdown I had on that draft night when we took Gino. I'm like, anybody but Gino, anybody but Gino.
He's
And
so
then
bad.
we took Gino, and I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Well, let me ease your pain here. The worst coach of the Raiders of my lifetime. I'm 30 years old. I was born in 1990. So we're going. Now I've had a lot to choose from. The coaching carousel has been quite a few. The easy one's Lane Kiffin, right? Well, that's the easy one, but I'm not taking that one. I am gonna go with Tom Walsh. People don't
That's a good
understand.
one.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you don't know about Tom Walsh, a lot of people don't know this. Literally running a bed and breakfast before he got called for the job. He answered the phone. He goes, "This is Tom Walsh bed and breakfast. How can I help you?" "Hi, this is Al Davis." "All right, yeah, I'll take the job." You know what I mean? That was how that job happened. Like it was wild, dude. Like it's one of the most nobody talks about it. It's one of those ones like where you if you were at a bar and like talking to an NFL guy, they'd be like, "Dude, I didn't know that." You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Yeah, nuts higher. Like how does this happen? Now, quarterback.
Was that '06?
Yeah, I think so. It was right before
Yeah.
Shell, I think, right before Art Shell, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, right before there. Also not great either. But Art Shell, his first run with the Raiders was good, so he's gonna be first black coach in NFL history. We're gonna respect that. So the quarterback. Now I'm gonna go say Andrew Walter personally. Andrew Walter was horrible out of Arizona State, just absolutely horrible. Had resemblance of a puppy shitting out glass, basically under pocket pressure, which there was a lot. Robert Gallery wasn't getting it done, and there was a lot. So that was bad. And then worst moment for me was see now the easy one's the tuck rule. Everybody thinks I'm going to say
Yeah.
that. Problem is
Exactly. Yeah.
I was like 11. It's different.
Right.
Football hits different when you're 11. It's not the same.
And that was still like, even though it happened,
You go to the Super Bowl the next year, right? Yeah, it's
right,
like
exactly.
yeah.
Plus, it's part of, I don't know, it's not part of infamy in the same way. Like it gave rise to Tom Brady, who was like the greatest of all
It was
time.
bad.
So it's bad in a way, but it's not. I don't
Yeah,
know. I hate it more than most people, but
right.
we'll see.
No, it spawned years of misery for you, I think,
Yeah,
more so than me. I mean, it was
exactly.
bad for us, but like it's for the AFC East was probably worse.
Hmm.
And the so that's the easy one. I was at a party with all Niner fans, 49er fan, like because I grew up in Niner country. So like I was so I was getting killed for that. Like it was bad. But at the end of the day, we were like, let's go airsoft. Like it's all good after that. And the next one to me, it's Carr breaking his leg, man. Like
Yeah,
on Christmas Eve, dude. Awful, rolling that year, dude. Just rolling, killing the Colts, just beating the
I,
dog shit out of
I
Andrew
forgot
Luck,
about that.
just beating
And
the
then
dog shit out.
Was it Connor Shaw? Who was the was it
Connor Cook,
Cook
he was
Cook?
honorable mention. If he had started
Yes,
more games for the Raiders, he'd be maybe the worst I'd ever seen. Like it was awful. And now, do you know who they passed on for Connor Cook, Dave, in the draft? Do you know?
I don't know.
So it was a fourth round. Now you're a real degenerate, right? If you're paying attention on a Saturday, maybe at work to the fourth round of the draft, that means you care about your football team. And I'm in my head, I'm saying, don't take Connor Cook. Same way you're saying, don't take Geno Smith. This is a little later. It doesn't hit as hard. But like in the draft, I'm saying, don't take Connor Cook. There's a guy out of Mississippi State that I really like. Maybe bring him in if you want a backup quarterback. His name's Dak Prescott. Bring him in. So the Cowboys wanted Connor Cook. Jerry Jones is so stupid that he wanted Connor Cook.
Yeah,
The Raiders
Leonard
trade up a
Paxton
week.
Lynch.
He wanted, yeah. This I think it was the same draft, if I'm not mistaken. He's just been taking L's on quarterbacks this whole time.
Yeah,
Fails upward, right? We know about failing upward. Like you fail upward, and you get you fail upward in the situation because the Raiders jump you. They're like, we got to get ahead of Jerry Jones, which in your head should be
exactly.
a red flag when you're trading
Right.
up ahead of Jerry Jones. It should be like, why am I trying to get ahead of Jerry Jones in the fourth
Yeah.
round? Yeah, right. You should be doing that, and then they take Connor Cook. Dak Prescott goes a single digit picks later. And what happens after Carr breaks his leg? Do you think Derek Carr gets a second contract if Dak Prescott comes in, starts a playoff game? Probably beats the Brock Osweiler Houston Texans that year, in my opinion,
Yeah.
in the playoffs because they barely lost. They didn't even lose that game by a lot. And
No.
it was
And
Connor
it's like
Cook. Yeah.
the thing with Brock Osweiler winning a playoff game too is just
It shouldn't have happened.
it blows your mind,
Yeah, the Mayans would have been right on the calendar. Like it just if it just all just ended right there. Like
It's so funny. That was like the era when I really gambled a lot
oh yeah.
on college sports. So like I knew a lot about Connor Cook and I knew a lot about Dak, and it's so funny like looking back like what that like how much gambling brings to sports fandom.
Yeah.
It's
Oh yeah.
amazing. And
Yeah.
now fantasy the same way. I know so much about so many players.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for fantasy, I would have no clue who the third guy on you know like
Yeah.
on the Cardinals is, the third
Yeah.
receiver on the Cardinals is, or any of
JJ
these teams.
Nelson JJ Nelson back in the day.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah, somebody like that. Yeah.
It's funny, but oh man, that to me, like, I just that was that's a really good throwback, because I totally forgot about that until now, and like I've blocked out that Brock Osweiler
Yeah.
has a playoff win. It's unreal, like what Nuck or DeAndre Hopkins did there
Oh yeah.
with all these bums. Like,
Tom Savage, TJ Yates.
yeah,
Yeah.
must be nice. Like when you think about like uh, if you're 6'5" and you're white and you can throw about 20 to 30 yards
Mm-hmm.
fairly accurately,
Yeah.
there's a good chance you can be a quarterback in the NFL.
Sure. You can put up numbers in college and then fool somebody. That's what you can do. Is what you can do. Like it's yeah. No, that's crazy. So, last two questions here. I thought this one was fun. One player from a past team you could put on this year's team, right? So the Jets, let's say the Jets are vying for that spot in 2021 season. Let's say they're vying for a playoff spot, maybe like a wild card or something like that. Who is one guy from a past team of your life? Let's say of your lifetime. Let's not go back that
That's
far.
tough. Right? It was tough, but I think Curtis Martin probably for me.
That is not who I thought you were going to pick. Wow.
Martin the Martian, he was insane. Like
He was very good. He was very good.
yeah, and that was sort of he's one of the first players I ever drafted in fantasy too, as a Jets fan. Like, but
Beast.
he
Absolute
was a
beast.
beast,
Mhm.
insane. But like, there's after that,
You don't take
there's
Darrell Revis in this young Jets secondary?
uh you still always have more affection for your offensive players. And if
Yeah,
I took anybody from that era, like I love Revis, but I'd still think I'd take Bart Scott to
that's
rally the
solid. Very
defense. Yeah.
solid. Yeah, very solid. No, you know who I would think would be a dark horse, like super dark horse. I mean, and this is old school, so this might not have applied here. Mark Gastineau, dude,
Oh
defensive
yeah.
end,
Oh, he
just
was sick.
getting after it. You know what I mean? Mark Gastineau on the defensive line. Like I don't know, that would have been sick.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's pretty cool, like being an NFL fan because we have it all preserved to see that kind of stuff. Like uh if you watch like some of the highlights from like baseball
yeah.
documentaries or whatever, it's awful. But like when NFL Films does Mark Gastineau or Joe Namath or something, they've got all the footage and it's just insane. That's really the heritage of NFL makes it so much easier to support because it's so easy to see the old stuff compared to any other sport.
Right, right. No, it's awesome, and
They they made it. They started the game.
yeah, exactly. And so for me, I'm this isn't of my lifetime. So I this is I for me it'd be vintage Charles Woodson in my opinion. Like was who I would take on the
Yeah,
Raiders.
he was
Or even
insane.
Khalil Mack. I mean, honestly, let's be real. I would take Khalil Mack back on this Raider team too. Those
Woodson was just amazing to watch. Like
mhm.
every week he would put on a show. Like people like talk about, my dad was a Cowboys fan, so we had a little bit of Deion Sanders.
Sure.
My dad, I don't know why he loved football more than hockey. Like we never watched hockey in our house. We always watched football. Monday Night Football was sacred. So like that's why I became a big NFL fan. But
Sure.
Woodson was just, you know,
Electric, yeah. Well,
electric all the time. But the Raiders have always had some insane players like
sure.
throughout history, man. Like it's everybody sort of, I don't know about now, but there was that era where everybody wanted the silver and black.
One of these days, man. Hopefully in my lifetime again. But yeah, so another dark horse name for me. Now I don't like the Raiders defense. Now I expect a bounce back year from Corey Littleton. I think Nick Kwiatkowski's a good linebacker. I think Yannick Ngakoue is a good signing, and I think they've done a decent job in the mid rounds, maybe getting some developmental rushers in Malcolm Kuhn's pass rusher. But for me, could I get prime Howie Long on this defensive line? Prime Howie Long, defensive tackle, defensive end hybrid. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy just like the crew cut, the action hero, like on this team in Vegas. Oh my god, if I could bring him back, dude, come on. Like he looks like he could still play. He looks fantastic, by the way. Just
Yeah, and
how
he doesn't.
how
It doesn't seem like he's got too much CTE either. Compared,
his son is gonna look shittier than him in like 10 years, I bet.
yeah.
Like
Did he
how
get cut today or something? I saw his name was trending, but I didn't click
Chris
on it.
Long? Yeah,
Kyle
I don't
Long.
know. Oh, Kyle Long. I'm sorry, I'm talking about Chris Long, but yeah. The Kyle Long, did he get cut? I thought the Chiefs signed him,
The
right?
Chiefs signed him, but his name was trending for some reason. I didn't have time today. I started a
I
new
did
job. So.
not. Oh, he got a knee injury in
Oh,
practice.
okay,
So,
that's what it was. Okay,
well,
it's
they might
one or the other.
of mice and men him basically. But yeah, the anyways, yeah. Well, you might have predicted something here, but the maybe one of those injury settlements. And so, last question: the Jets and the Raiders. I know you said at one point gambling man. I'm not sure if you still are, and they're both the Raiders and the Jets both said over under at 7 even wins. Who is more likely to hit this? Hit the over, I should say. Yeah.
The thing is, both of our divisions are tough right
Uh-huh.
now, and I don't think either of us will. I think the most likely would
Oh,
be the Raiders, but
they
like,
gotta get more than 7. It's a 17 game season.
yeah,
They got
that's true. But
yeah. They're better than that. They're better. They're better. Come on, they're better than 7.
But it's just, what if the Broncos get Deshaun Watson?
No,
Then
it's true.
you're screwed.
Well,
That whole division is
I have to find
stacked.
out where the massage parlors are in Denver, and we have to find out how to take them out. Is what we do. Yeah,
It's so funny. Like I totally think it's like the scummy owner knew about it the whole time and like
sure.
then held on to the information.
Then
And
when he
then
wanted to trade, it was like, fine, Deshaun, yeah, we'll let you get
yeah,
trade. Yeah, no, that's exactly. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. No, no funny
but
business aside. Nonetheless, you're right. So okay, if the
I
Broncos
haven't
upgrade,
I
so we
haven't
can't.
really looked at the schedules that hard, but
Uh-huh.
I think you've got the established QB, so and you got the run game. So I'll say, let's just say the Raiders. I'm just really down on Zach Wilson. I'm pretty bummed out about this. Like
And you
trying
knew it
to,
was going to happen too. Like it was one of
yeah,
those picks where you just knew that was your
and
guy.
I was trying to cheer myself up, and I keep trying to say, what if he's like Sanchez? He just manages the
Yeah,
game, and
right.
we have the good, but I don't know, and like his mom's a big wacko. Like, what's with these NFL moms? Like these white guys with the weird moms. Like Drew Lock's mom's a weirdo. There's a few of them out there that
A lot of them.
Sam Darnold's mom was a weirdo. They're
Uh-huh.
all like, and they're all anti-vax. Man, the NFL is pro sports is a weird place right now.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, Zach Wilson did go to BYU, so we had to know about the mom, and so yeah. I mean, to me, I still think the Jets are going to be picking top 10, and I think that's by design. I think they're going to be scrappy. I think there's going to be games. I think they're going to be the have if I'm betting late in the year, like that money line team that I think is going to hit like plus 350. Where I'm like, oh shit, like they're going to beat this team they shouldn't beat. I think they're going to do that a couple times this year.
Right.
I think they're gonna. I like their wide receiver core is cool. Like I'm looking at the Jets. Like I like their wide receiver core. I like Denzel Mims. I like Elijah Moore. Who else did they bring in? Was it Corey Davis? I like him
Yeah,
too.
Corey Davis.
I think that was an underrated signing. I think you
Yeah.
overpaid for him, but I think he's good. So I
Yeah.
think that's fine. And I think there's going to be struggles with the young offensive line. I just don't like the Jets secondary, and that's what's killing me. And I think in that I think Josh Allen's going to have his way with the secondary and that thing with when you have Bryce Hall and guys like that back there. Like those guys are going to be starting, right? Like if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
It's
And
not very good, but I think what they want to do is get pressure on the QB so it's
sure.
not left up to.
And Salah's a genius, man. Like I'll
Yeah.
tell you that. Like I mean, he had a loaded personnel for the Niners, but he also got a lot out of late round picks with the
Exactly.
Niners.
And he resurrected, Sherm and who was on the opposite side of Sherman. He played really well too. Like
like Emmanuel Mosley, guys like
yeah,
that.
and like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and they're not household names or nothing
No,
like that.
no,
So,
no, no.
he got them.
Fred Warner, 3rd round pick. I mean, like he's awesome, but he
Yeah.
like maybe Salah had something to do with him being maybe the best coverage linebacker in the game now, as a 3rd round pick.
But I think the Dolphins are going to really surprise people this year too. Like they have a good coach. I think Tua's got the tools to be a good
You like
QB.
Tua, huh? You like
Yeah.
I didn't like what I saw last year. I liked him in college though.
Yeah, but that offense was pretty crappy last year too. Like they basically, had a bunch of walk-ons. Who the hell is Miles Gaskin, Salvin Ahmed? Devontae Parker was the only real
young offensive line. Yeah,
young offensive line. So we'll see. It is definitely a tough division to pick. Obviously, everybody's on the Bills, but I hope there's regression. I hate Josh Allen so much. I really I hate the whole everybody loves him now and stuff. It really pisses me off.
Yeah, it's
really.
weird. And like I think he's one of those guys whose athleticism kind of just like outplays his flaws. And in the NFL now, you can do that. If that makes any sense. Like you can just be so athletic that your flaws don't matter in the NFL now, which makes for awesome like gameplay to watch. Like I think the NFL's better to watch now than almost it ever was, in my opinion. Like even though though some of the flags suck, like of course pace of play is still a problem, but you look at just like if you were somebody who didn't watch the game, if you were just like I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch a game, and you watch Josh Allen play, you're like this is incredible. You know what I mean? Like he's it's electric. And now for the Raiders, for my thing. I think they get over 7. I think they're a 9-8 team this year. I think they're a 9-8. I don't even know if that's a playoff team in the AFC. I have no idea. This extra game, people are really sleeping on this extra game.
Yeah.
As a gambler, we're like, what does this do? Is this a playoff team?
Right.
Where the meme where the guy's got the butterfly and he's looking at it flying and he's like, is 9-8? Is this a playoff team? Like, I have no idea. No idea what's going on. And the guy, and so I think that they can do that. One, partially because the Broncos didn't do anything. And I'm sorry, like the Packers don't have to trade Aaron Rodgers. That's why I keep telling people they don't have to do it. They could sit on him.
I don't think they will either.
No, and he has to pay them $30 million if he retires. So if you're going to take the Jeopardy job, you're basically going to be working for free this year for Jeopardy. And he was fantastic at it. I'm not going to lie. But then the Deshaun Watson thing, like, yeah, I could. That's a possibility, but it's like.
But he's definitely going to get suspended.
Exactly.
If there's
no chance that doesn't equal in some kind of suspension, just off of like what you did for your brand.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you fucked up your brand, dude. You're getting suspended, so you're going to get that. Justin Herbert, I was low on him last year. That's one thing you have going for you about Zach Wilson. The way I feel about Zach Wilson was the way I felt about Justin Herbert last year. So maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm just completely wrong. I was just doing the Oregon quarterback thing. And so there's that. But maybe he gets a sophomore slump. Maybe the Chargers like offense.
Exactly. You never know. They've really invested.
They did crush the offensive line though. Yeah, like they're it's good. And Keenan Allen's still really good, even though he's hurt every other game. Like they're still good. Mike Williams still a good player. Like they're good. They lose Hunter Henry. Running back situation's okay. Like with Eckler, they're good. Like it's the Chargers also. Like if we're gonna say it's the Raiders, it's the Chargers as well. So like they both have their own identity as not being very good. So then you got the Chiefs, right? The Chiefs are going to win the division. It's going to happen. They up the offensive line. I think their defense is still solid enough. I don't think the problems that they're going to run into salary cap wise are going to matter much this year. So, but I could see the Raiders winning 9 games this year. I could see it happening. They don't have to travel much on their schedule. I think like just here and there, like their trip to Denver is followed by a bye. It's like they have like a very solid schedule travel wise, because that's all you can really look at right now. It doesn't really matter who you're playing because the NFL, the injury reports are insane week by week. So, and the Raiders defense, if they can seriously get inside the top 25 of defenses, that's how bad that. No, seriously, like what that does to your win total, like it adds you an extra win if you're not the worst in the league. It gets you exactly. It really does. Like, and we're talking about like doing a box jump over like a tiny like credit card. Like it's not a crazy leap, but you'd hope they can do that. And then their offense is still pretty good. It's still a pretty good offense. Darren Waller is the 3rd best tight end in the league, and he's
the 2nd best.
He's healthier than the 2 ones better than him. So he's
the 2nd. He's better than Kittle, I think.
I don't think so. I think Kittle's just a fucking monster on the run game. Yeah, but me too. Bullshit. No, and I appreciate you saying that. Like I agree. I third best in the league, where it's not a very deep tight end league either. Like after tight end 7, it's not great in the league. You're looking at the injured Tyler Eifert, hopefully type stuff situations. But
the thing is, like, you got to hope that the Bengals and the Steelers both suck. We know the Browns and the Ravens are always going to be good. I think, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we could say the Browns are going to be good, but yeah, sure.
I don't know. They're just stacked on both sides of the ball.
They are.
They're just they've drafted so well. Like
AFC North's not a great draw this year. Yeah, I don't like.
But I can see the Steelers falling off easy. Like picking Najee Harris in the 1st round. And
terrible.
Not like addressing any of their needs in the offseason. Like and the Bengals have they probably have a worse defense than the Raiders. Like,
yeah, especially after letting William Jackson walk for no reason. Yeah,
exactly. Right.
Yeah.
And then you got
and
the
Carl
South.
Lawson, yeah.
And the South's a disaster. Like, no, I don't trust Urban. I don't really rate. Like, obviously, the Texans are going to probably go winless, especially if it's Sam Mills starting. And then who knows what's his name? Wentz is going to do with the Colts. Right. And then Titans could definitely regress this year,
Even with Julio, yeah.
Even with Julio, they could
I agree.
they definitely could regress. So that's what you're sort of hoping for.
Yeah.
You got to keep an eye on that. But I think it's, it could be viable. I could see 9-8.
Yeah, 9-8. I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's a playoff team. Like it might not be. It might be. Like it depends on the rest of the league. It's like a free market thing. Like maybe the market dictates that's a playoff team this year.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm at. I actually think they go over 7. Now the Raiders, what they've done 2 out of the 3 years with John Gruden is they've started hot. They've started real hot. They've racked up wins. They've been 6-4 by week 10 every year. One year we got our ass kicked by the Jets, and it was the downfall of the entire season. It happens. Yeah. It happens. Rainy day, Hunter Renfro's ribs get broken. Like I kind of forgot about the game already, but sometimes that happens. So I think they're going to do the same thing this year. I think they're going to do that. Now I hope they can just limp into the play. I just want to get to the playoffs, man. I just want to watch a shitty wild card Saturday game with the Raiders playing the damn, the Bills or something. I don't know, just somebody random on a Saturday where it's random. I just need to see that again. So
you won't be able to afford a ticket unless you guys really,
oh my God,
really suck. The Raiders tickets are insane, man.
I don't know if that's ever going to go down just because it's Vegas too. Have you ever even tried to go to Vegas recently? It's like, what the hell, dude?
No,
I haven't been
in super long.
It's brutal, dude. I went right before COVID hit, dude. It was brutal, dude. Like I'm talking like $12 IPAs, man. Like that's where you can find out the way where everything else costs is all I'm saying. Like at the casino. So like that happens. I'm gonna try to go this year at some point, but Jesus Christ, dude, I don't feel like taking out bank loans for this stuff, like especially for a possible 9-8 team, like so I don't know about that, but
same thing up here in the Pacific Northwest. The Seattle Seahawks tickets, nothing less than $200 for any nosebleed, unless you.
But nosebleed's okay there. I feel like no, is it not?
Yeah, but still, I don't like $200 like that.
Yeah.
That's $400 for 2 people. Like,
yeah.
$400 is a lot of money when you think
parking, all that stuff. Yeah. You getting some drinks, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And you can't even tailgate in Vegas, I heard either.
I don't know about that. I would ask I got some Vegas buddies that, buddy, he runs a prop shop down there.
Well, I think they want to do casino. Like they want you to like go to the casino beforehand.
Yeah,
I think is the
exactly.
situation.
Yeah,
which be on the lookout for some incredible fights, post-game fights at casinos, by the way. Like
yeah, that'll be sick.
It'll be so good. Like it just like Raiders Steelers fight post-game, you know what I mean, or just some random thing like that happens.
But a lot of good food material. Food's gone wild.
Yes, and well, Dave, I appreciate you joining me, man. I think this is fun. I think we should do this at the end of the season as well to see how like a recap. Definitely. I think that'd be very fun. So
that would be good. Rehash, see how our seasons went.
Yeah, no, this recording will be up. I'll go through it again when we're getting towards the season, see if I'm better than I was or not, or vice versa. If you Jets randomly go 10-6 or 10-7, sorry, or
zero. I would say there's probably about a 1% chance that happens.
I don't think it's that.
I'd say 5 games. It feels like a 5-win season to me.
5. What is that? 5-13.
Yeah.
Or no, 5-5. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, that's
5-12.
5-12. 5-12. I'm like, yeah. I'm sorry. I won't get used to it for like 2 years. The thing. Yeah, I won't do it. So I'm a Raider fan. We don't do math. So at xmalwa on Twitter is where you can find Dave. Raider Nation, talk shit to him all year on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't think he minds. I love it back. Same thing. I knew we'd vibe on this stuff. No problem. Like that's good. I'm glad we did this. It's a slow time of year. I thought it was a perfect time of year to do this. Was just like nothing's happening.
The OTAs basically that you don't even have to show up to.
You just don't want those non-contact. OTAs are all about if you have a non-contact injury is all you like. That's what perks my thing. Non-contact injury at OTAs, like Jordy Nelson, that one for the Packers. Were like, oh no, oh no,
exactly.
Yeah, like
Raiders legend Jordy Nelson.
Yes, an absolute cadaver, dude. Like Prince. What was the Prince? Who's the Prince of England? The England guy that's like 99. He just passed away. I think
Philip.
That's who he was. That's what that guy was at wide receiver. Was Prince Philip? Like in the car. It was incredible. I was like, you know what? Why not do it here, dude? But right on, Dave. I really appreciate you joining me.
Thanks
This
for
is
having me
Rock
on, Glenn.
Vegas. I'm at Glen Rockney. Yeah, go Raiders. Dave says go Jets. I disagree. So right on, guys.